Quilters, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilts cutting expert.
And I'm Erica, AccuQuilt's creativity expert.
Welcome to our special event called On the Go, Trip to Des Moines, Iowa. Today we'll be sharing our experience at the American Quilter Society, or AQS, Quilt Week in Des Moines.
That's right. Now the show took place last week and the AccuQuilt team was lucky enough to go and explore the show.
We had a wonderful time while we were in Des Moines. The quilts on display were so inspiring. Now, quilters, we wish that we could share some close-ups of them with you, but that would take away from the fun of exploring AQS's website.
That's right. And they have so many amazing resources there that quilters can utilize.
And the best part of our experience was meeting some of the great people at the Des Moines Quilt Show. I talked to AQS Executive Show Director Bonnie Browning, Joe Reichs from Inspired to Sew, one of our amazing retailers, Lori Thompson from the Executive Director of Quilts of Valor, and our very own AccuQuilt cutting expert, Jeannie Miller.
We have a lot of fun for quilters planned today, including exclusive interviews with the people you mentioned and thoughts about the AccuQuilt system from AccuQuilt customers who attended the Des Moines Quilt Week. Without further ado, I say let's get this show started.
Let's get it going. All right, first we're going to start by sharing my interview with Des Moines Quilt Week Executive Show Director Bonnie. Take a look. We're here in Des Moines and I'm here with Bonnie. It's so good to see you. Tell us a little bit about AQS. What's your challenge this year? What's your goals? What's it looking like?
Well, you know, AQS is the largest membership organization in the world for quilting, and we have 70,000 members. And so our challenge always is to come up with new events at our shows. We keep an eye on what's happening in the quilting world to adjust our contests.
Okay.
Sometimes we do some challenges. We're always looking for some different kinds of special events to do at our shows.
Right.
And right now we're busy working on all of our shows for 2023.
Well, you've been really busy, right?
Oh yes, we're always busy. You know, it takes us 18 months start to finish to do one single show.
That's what I heard.
We do 5 shows a year, so we're busy all the time.
It's amazing. So Des Moines, when was the last time you had the Des Moines show because of COVID? It was shut down.
We did a show here for 10 years, and the last show was 2017.
Okay.
And so now 2022, so it's been 5 years since we were here, yes.
Wonderful, and I see that we have a great turnout here. We have lots of people coming. Tell us about the quilts here. What's kind of cool about the quilts here in Des Moines?
Well, our quilts all year have been amazing. Because of COVID, we allowed the quilters to enter quilts that were 5 years old. You know, we had 2 years that we didn't win, and they were making quilts like crazy. And so for this year, they could be 5 years old, so the quilts have been truly amazing.
They're stunning.
Now, when we get to 2023, we're going back to only 3 years old.
Oh, okay.
So we've given them the leeway for this year. Next year we go back to the old rules.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, and we have a bunch of AQS shows coming up here in 2023. Do you want to talk about some of the ones that are coming up soon?
Oh, yes. In fact, the deadline for entering the contest for Daytona Beach is coming right up.
Yes.
But that show will be the end of February, the last week of February. Branson will be the last week of March.
Okay.
Paducah will be the last week of April. And then we have a switch in some dates. We're working with the convention center because they had like a 2-week convention to come in.
Ah, gotcha.
So we've changed our regular dates for Grand Rapids. From August, it'll be the middle of September.
Okay.
And then we'll be back here the last week of September.
Excellent. So if our viewers want to become a member of AQS, how do they do that?
To become a member, they just go to AmericanQuilter.com.
There you go.
And you will see join, a button at the top, and you click there. And there's always some kind of a special little premium when you join, too.
I love it.
Go see what it is at AmericanQuilter.com.
Thanks so much. Okay, AmericanQuilter.com is
That's
where you can
right.
see all of the quilts from the show.
That's right. And
It's
there
fabulous.
is so much clearly that goes into planning a quilt show, more than you might think.
There is. It was great to hear about the work that AQS put in for Des Moines and to hear about upcoming events for 2023, which is going to be a great year.
That's right. I can't wait for the next ones because this one was so much fun.
We did. We had a blast. We found so much inspiration at a quilt show, especially when talking with some of our members of the AccuQuilt community.
That's right. Everyone was so excited to be there, and it was just great getting to meet our community of quilters. Let's take a look.
All right, hey quilters, it's Pam
And Erica.
We're here in Des Moines at the quilt show, and we have some really fun customers that are here. And so if you want to tell us your name and where you're from, first name and where you're from.
I'm Pam, and I'm from Columbia, Missouri.
Excellent.
Sandy from Hamlink, Minnesota.
Jade from Winter Garden, Florida.
Thank you for hanging out with us today.
Yes.
This is Talia. She's the cutest of us all.
She's
Nothing
cute.
personal, ladies,
Yeah.
but they are. Okay, so our question of the day is, what made you choose from being rotary cutter and a ruler to the AccuQuilt system? What was that moment?
I think it was early in the pandemic. I was watching quilt videos. I happened upon your show. I bought the Go Starter.
Yeah, ready,
Ready,
set,
set,
go.
go. She got ready,
And
set, go.
it just changed everything. I'll tell you, the 2.5-inch strip die
For days.
is just a game changer.
Yep.
And since then, I've kind of fallen down the rabbit hole, and I got an embroidery machine with my Bernina
Yeah.
sewing machine, and that sucked me further down happily
Yes.
because of the applique
Yes.
patterns.
yes.
In fact, Talia will be gifted a quilt this week with
Super
the
cute.
elephant applique dye in pink and gray, her nursery colors, and I used the motif stitch,
Oh.
which I found worked really well for
Right.
securing it and giving it a nice little unique custom touch.
Wonderful.
So-
Wonderful. All right, Sandra, what changed your life with the Go system?
There you go.
That would be the exploding heart.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's a lot of pieces if you cut them by
Yes,
hand.
and they are pink, gray, and yellow, so maybe
Oh.
Talia needs another one.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah, half square triangles, right? Who knew you could cut them
And
so
quarter
far?
square triangle, quarter
Yeah.
square.
Well, I didn't want to show to see that little trick about doing the half square triangle, so I have all quarter squares.
You have all
Oh,
quarter
that's all right,
squares
though. That's all right.
But did you use a die for that?
Yes.
Good girl. Good girl. And what size did you make it? What size were yours?
I use that 8-inch cube
Excellent.
because I have the go.
Yes.
Yeah.
But do you know that the cube, all 7 sizes fit in the Go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah,
All right, Miss Jane, what was your game changer?
Okay, so I love just woo, woo, woo. They're all cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hated cutting out my pattern pieces. And now I'm making more pattern pieces than I need.
Excellent.
That's just whoop, 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 and it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, from now on, whenever we use the Go, we have to make that noise.
Whoop, whoop. I love it.
All right. All right. Do you have a favorite die?
If I had to pick something besides the 2.5,
Right.
I guess it'd be the 2.5-inch square. That's part of my
Oh.
8-inch cube.
Sure.
I find that to be extraordinarily useful because I cut up all my scraps into either 2.5-inch strips, 1.5-inch strips. I have the multi-strip,
Oh,
die.
sure.
Oh,
and then also 5-inch squares, which I also have that
Charm
die
squares.
too, of course.
Yeah.
Excellent. Sandra, favorite die?
It would be the 8-inch cube with the corners and angles.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. There you go.
That's more than one.
I know it's a set.
But I
We're
use
gonna
them
call
together.
it a set.
They
It's
go
a thing.
together.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. What about you?
I love all the bobs.
Okay, do you like our new 2 new bops we just released?
Yes.
Star of the East and Road to Fortune?
Yes.
Okay, settle the dispute. What's your favorite of the 2?
Star of the East.
See, everybody is.
Yep.
I know. I'm loving the Road to Fortune. Thanks so much for meeting with us today, ladies.
Thank you.
Hey, quilters, we're here in Des Moines, and this is Kelly. How are you today?
I'm great.
All right, Kelly, tell us what was kind of the determination of going from a rotary cutter and a ruler to the Go system?
Well, first of all, it saves my shoulder. I had my shoulder repaired. So that, and it's accurate
Every time.
every time.
And how many quilts are you making every year?
Well, that just depends on how busy I am. But usually like 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
That's
so you
great.
cut them accurately. Do you have a favorite die?
I don't. I like them all.
Okay, pick one of your top 5.
It'd have to be one of the strip dies.
Yes.
Like the 2.5-inch strip die.
Because here's a fun fact about Kelly. How many of the 18 strip dies do you own?
I have them all.
18.
18 of them.
And she showed us a picture of how they're all stored perfectly and correctly. But also, how many cubes do you have?
All but the 5-inch.
Okay. Okay.
Well, something to strive
Yeah,
for.
There you
yeah,
go.
something to work
And
for. You
they're
got to
all
have a
set.
goal.
Okay, we have a
Okay.
great story about
Yes,
Talia.
we do.
Her grandma brought her to the quilt show when she
Yes.
was darling. And she shared with us her finished project that she made for her.
She just sent a picture the other day.
Yes.
It had the elephants. It was so
It
cute.
was a cute little elephant die
Yeah.
on it. So it was great. So it was fun to meet her.
Yes.
Great grandma bringing her to the quilt show.
Yep, that's right. And we have a new sound effect. Whoop, whoop, when you're turning
Every
the
time you
handle.
use the go, whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay.
Clearly, everybody loves strip dies, though, right?
Everybody we talk to.
Everybody.
Everybody. All right, I just love checking in with our AccuQuilt community to hear what they have to say, and I'm really glad that they love our products as much as we do.
Oh, me too, Pam. And we also have some great deals for them to easily get their hands on anything that they might be missing. Clearly, Ms. Kelly wasn't missing any strip
No,
dies.
she was not.
She had them all. Quilters, take advantage of our free shipping offer. You can get free shipping for any $150 or larger AccuQuilt.com purchase when you live in the contiguous U.S. No code needed.
And think about if you're looking for something to kind of bring you over that threshold.
There you go.
This is our Whirling Star. It is our die to try for the month of September. And we just have a few of them left. So if you're looking to get it before they are gone, make sure you throw one in your cart today. This is the Go Whirling Star.
That's right.
All right, and with any AccuQuilt purchase, you'll earn double reward points. You can use these points towards future orders. So you definitely want to earn as many of these points as you can. Save them
Right.
for later.
Right.
Everything, holidays are, we were just talking about all the projects we
Were
have
all
to do
the
between
projects.
now and Christmas.
So much sewing. Now, to get your order in during the show, open a new tab in your browser, type in AccuQuilt.com/party and to place your order. That way, you're not going to miss a minute of the show.
You can also find many of our products at your local AccuQuilt retailer. To find the retailer closest to you, check out the store locator at the top of the page at AccuQuilt.com.
Now listen, if you are not lucky enough to have an AccuQuilt retailer near you, make sure to let your local quilt shop know that you would love to shop for our Go products there.
There we go. All right.
Speaking of retailers,
Yes.
you got to interview the one and only Jill Reichs, who is brilliant. She is from Inspired to Sew in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
I did, and she truly is brilliant, and she's a beautiful, beautiful store.
Yes.
I've been several times to teach there, and she sells our AccuQuilt products, including our Go fabric cutter and tons of Go dies. Let's see what she had to say about our Go products. Hey, Quilters, we're here in Des Moines with the amazing Jill Reichs and Inspired to Sew. Thank you for meeting with us today.
Yeah.
I love your store. I love the energy about it and everything about it. Tell us what the advantages of carrying the Go fabric cutter and our dies in your store.
I love, personally, all of our team that work at our store have the cutters. And so they have different ones from the Go Me through the electric. And what I love about it is that it really has a lot of opportunities for people to use up more fabric. And you know, people say all the time, I've got too much fabric. I can't get any more fabric. And it's like, in their lifetimes, they're not going to get all that fabric cut. There's no way. There's no way you can do it unless you have the Go cutter.
Right.
And so we've discovered that as a team. Our team, in a year, I cut up about 12 Rubbermaid totes of leftover fabric. I realized what I didn't love, got rid of that.
Right.
Put it into other things. Right. Because this is the experience our customers have.
Right.
And so it gives us an answer to say, how can we help you with that? Plus the fact it answers the customer who says, my mobility isn't so good. I'm not really good with cutting. And we also talk about who's at what's at rulers. we don't need more plastic in our lives, we need more fabric in our lives.
Right.
So people keep buying more rulers and they say, oh, AccuQuilt's so expensive. It's much cheaper than having all that fabric go to waste. I mean, thank God it doesn't spoil, right?
Right.
But I mean, we fall out of love with it and we go on. And AccuQuilt's been a great partner for us. We've been with them for quite a while, and I know there's been some ups and downs, but I think to be fair, there's been ups and downs in our businesses. We've changed. AccuQuilt has showed that they are really going to partner with us well, and we've stuck with them, they've stuck with us, and we love the support they give. I love watching Pam and the team, the education team, offer us information that our customers are watching, and we augment that with our own information.
Right. Now you have a great system because I've done shows at your store, and you you have a basket of scraps.
Yep.
Right. And so people come in and they're like, "Well, tell us about the goat cutter," and you just say, "Here's my basket of scraps," right? And start busting up those scraps. And you and I come from that same philosophy of let's cut them up into usable pieces.
Right. And I think there's a lot of demonstrations that show like how I can do this with yard goods.
Right.
But and that's good. I think that's wonderful. But like even with things like this, as I've cut up like my strips to fit onto the equilateral die, or excuse me, the half hexagon, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then show them how to use their scraps. There's nothing more relieving for our customer than to say, I still love that fabric, and now I want to love it into something.
Yes.
And you know, and I mean, I think we want to say, hey, buy more fabric, but if they've got so much fabric they don't know what to do, what we do is we go in and we mentor them. How do you deal with your fabric stash?
Right.
And so we do a lot of projects and a lot of education around that because that is their experience, and we want to be there with them.
And you have a great online program called
Mystery Mondays.
Okay, tell our viewers about Mystery Mondays.
So Mystery Monday is, they're usually like 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how long. But what we do is we base it on, we're going to show you how to take a pattern and we convert it to, like we teach them how to do traditional piecing, or if they have specialty rulers, we show them how to do that. And then the other one, the most important part, and probably more than half the people that attend are AccuQuilt owners.
Right.
And so what we do is we make sure that we educate them. So what we're doing is we're training people how to take the dies that they have or the patterns they have and convert them over to AccuQuilt. And it's a slow way of doing it.
Right.
You know, we'll take it out and we'll say, here's how I'm going to use this in an 8-inch cube. We have a quilt we just finished from our friend Amanda Murphy, brilliant designer. And when people say, I waste so much fabric on AccuQuilt, we actually went through in the whole process of fold over corners. It wastes 33% of the fabric in the last one that we did if you don't use AccuQuilt.
Right.
And that was mind-blowing to people. One of my favorite things we do, though, is we talk to people about their scraps.
Yeah.
And they say, how do I know how much fabric do I need for a queen-size quilt?
This is brilliant.
Okay. How do we know how much fabric do I do for a queen-size quilt? And they'll say, I've got all these scraps. And then they think they got to follow the pattern and follow the 1/4 in this. What I do is I have them weigh like 3 or 5 yards of fabric with their food scale because we don't use those anymore, right?
No,
we're over food
we're
scales.
so over it.
So we weigh that, and then we weigh their scraps. And then we say, you know what, if it's about 10 to 12 yards, you got enough for a queen-size quilt. Now, if they're little bit, I know, right?
Yeah,
right?
so brilliant.
It's mind-blowing.
So brilliant.
And it's
because
accurate.
because I have good pieces of scraps.
Right.
And so now I can weigh it, and you can figure out how many.
No, we do take them through the ratio. We show them because
there's
like
a
math
process.
is not my thing, but you know, ratio, it works, and it's so liberating. People go, oh my gosh, I have enough here to make 3 king-size quilts. I better get cutting.
Yeah,
you know,
I love it.
It's surprising. Yeah.
Now tell us how our viewers can get online with Mystery Mondays, because that's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Inspiredtosew.com, INSPIRED2sew.com.
SEW.
Yeah, SEW.
Yes.
So SEW.com.
Yeah.
And so if you do that, or if you join us on Facebook, we have a group called Friends of Inspired to Sew.
Yes.
And then Inspired to Sew. We have regular emails that put them in there. And Mystery Mondays are pretty inexpensive to attend. And we always give people added value. They get the pattern and everything. So we support great designers. And we break apart their designs and write it up. There's a lot of patterns like Amanda's Ruby Jubilee that we did. We actually have an insert that we put inside of there. We contact the designers and we ask, can we put an insert about how to convert this to AccuQuilt? And they're like, I never thought about that.
Right.
And they're blown away that like maybe half to 3/4 of their customers actually own AccuQuilt.
Right.
So we're trying to make AccuQuilt more friendly to the design community.
Great. Shop with Jill.
Shop
Get
with
some.
it. Thanks. Thanks.
Thanks
All
for
right.
meeting with us
Thank
today.
you, Pam.
All right, Mystery Mondays.
Mystery Mondays.
Inspired to
Check 'em
Sew.
out.
Check them out. I'm going to join Mystery Monday.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and
would be fun.
boy, she is just so clever. And I just always learn something every time I talk to her.
Every time. All right, and I love how she mentioned the benefits of our cutters and dies and the value in them, but let's see what others had to say about them as well. We have Linda, and Linda has a great story to tell about AccuQuilt because she's a little bit of an overachiever.
Well, my friends are overachievers. We went to Pam's program at Stitch On in Lawrence, Kansas. And it was back in the days when if you went to a program, you got an exclusive die.
Yes.
You only could get the die if you went to the program. So, of course, we had to go.
And that die was?
The Arkansas Traveler.
Yes.
And it is not an easy die to put together. I don't care what these ladies tell you. But it's very doable.
Yes.
Very doable if you follow the instructions. I've made a whole quilt out of it. But there were like 3 programs,
Yes,
I think,
there were 3 that day.
And so we went to the first one. We bought our die.
Right.
We went to my friend's studio.
Yes.
And we made the blocks.
Yes, and they brought them back for
And we
show and
brought
tell.
them back for show and tell that afternoon.
That's
And
amazing.
it's so funny because Linda, just like 3 days ago, it showed up on my Facebook feed about how great. So what helped you choose from rotary cutter and a ruler to the AccuQuilt system?
I was not going to do it, quite frankly, because of the expense. But the more I looked into it, and the older I'm getting, and arthritis is setting in, and basically it was the accuracy.
Right.
If you want to do some of these blocks, like say the Twisted Star,
Right.
or the Storm at Sea,
Right.
or something like that, those angles, I don't care how good your template is, I don't care how good your ruler is. You can put tape on there, you can put arrows on there, which I have all of that, by the way. But the die gets those pieces cut exactly the way you need them. So that when you go to put them together, they just go together. And so that's why, and also the other thing I like about AccuQuilt is when you buy an applique design, it comes with free downloads.
Isn't that great?
And for years, I tried to figure out through my own machine how I could do that.
Oh, right, to figure it out yourself.
And I couldn't do it.
Right.
I'm just not smart enough. And so when they came out with the free downloads, now all of my appliques, if I don't buy it from V-Stitch or Marjorie Busby or something like that, or the cars, I do the cars and the key cars and stuff like that. I will do the download.
Excellent.
And so the accuracy and the downloads.
So do you have a favorite die?
Oh, I probably use my strip dies the most.
There we go.
There you go.
I do a lot of 3-yard quilts for donation quilts.
Oh, okay.
And so I have purchased the 3.5 inch, the 4.5 inch, the 4, and those strip dies, so that when it comes time to doing those patterns, I just slip them on the die, whip them through. I have to go big, and they're done.
Yeah,
and it's easy to put together those quilts.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking
Thanks
with
so
us
much,
today.
Linda.
We have some wonderful quilters. Tell us your first name and where you're from.
My name is Deb, and I am from Columbia, Missouri.
And
I'm Judy from Columbia.
And you have a great quilt shop there. It is.
Apple Tree Quilt.
We're going to give a big shout out to Apple Tree because they're
That's
down
right. That's where you got your go cutters, right?
Yes.
So what made you decide that you wanted to get a go cutter?
She did.
Good job, Judith.
Seriously, she had one. She loved it. She asked several of her friends over to her house. She showed us the video. She had us bring scraps so we could play on it.
Oh,
and three of us went home and bought.
You were me for a
So
day.
we have to hire her then.
Yes, it's great.
Basically, we have to hire her.
And Judith, what made you change to a go cutter? What was that moment?
First, I watched you. And
Thank you.
I saw how fast it is and accurate. And I'm a big pinner.
Yes.
And I don't hardly pin anymore.
See, good job.
Sorry.
Good job. Good
Sorry.
job.
There are moments where you need those pins. So it's not just you need the pins, right?
Right.
But they cut them for you, so then it's easy.
And
So-
when you cut it, they're ready to sew. If you do
Right.
it right
Yeah.
together.
Right? We learned that trick, right?
Yeah.
All right, tell us what's your favorite die.
I like that new Star of the East.
Ding. And
Team Star of the East.
I have a favorite die.
top
I
five,
like-
one of your top 5.
The Hunter Star.
Country
that I
shirt,
just
which you
bought
just bought
today.
in Quebec.
Fabulous, fabulous
And here's the
stuff.
best news. Are you going to make it 2-color or scrappy?
Scrappy.
There we go. Then she can do it. Good deal. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending
Thanks so
some
much,
time with
ladies.
me.
Oh, I am so glad we got to talk to so many quilters at the Des Moines Quilt Show. Scrappy
And,
Team Star of the
and
East.
truly, Star of the East.
Yeah.
Hands down, the big favorite.
But everybody loved both of them.
They did, and it was, I think, hard to choose.
It was hard to choose, yeah.
Yeah. So, Star of the East, Road to Fortune are two new dies.
Yeah.
All right. I spoke with Executive Director of the Quilts of Valor Foundation, Lori Thompson, about the history and mission of their wonderful organization. Plus, she told me about a new book that they have coming out this spring. Let's hear what Lori had to say. Hey, quilters, we're here at the Quilts of Valor booth here in Des Moines, and this is Lori Thompson. She's the Executive Director of Quilts of Valor. Thank you for taking time to meet with us today.
Oh, thank you, Pam.
All right,
Appreciate
so
it.
can you tell our viewers a little bit about Quilts of Valor, like what's your purpose and how long you've been around?
Yeah, so our mission is to wrap veterans with Quilts of Valor to provide comfort and healing. And it all sparked almost 20 years ago with Catherine Roberts, our founder, who had a dream about a young soldier who was distraught and who was instantly comforted in that dream with a Quilt of Valor. And that sparked a movement that's been going on for almost 20 years. And now we have 10,000 volunteers across the U.S.
It's amazing.
And 600 chapters, and they average about making and awarding 30,000 Quilts of Valor a year.
Which is amazing, amazing. And I think there's a huge, big number of how many quilts have totally been donated. Do you know?
Yeah, so we hit a big milestone this year.
Okay.
We hit our 300,000 quilt. We've been tracking things since 2018.
Okay.
And so we hit that in April and chose a national recipient, Craig McKee. He was an Army veteran and news anchor out of Cincinnati.
Okay.
And then our chapters, we encourage them to go ahead and make honorary 300,000 quilts. So we've had all these quilts awarded, all these great stories coming in.
I love it.
Just very inspiring.
I love it. And next year's 20 years.
20
That's
years.
pretty exciting, pretty
Yeah.
exciting. So Lori, tell us about this book. It's available for pre-order right now.
It is. So we have our second book, the All-Star Quilts of Valor book, coming out the end of October. We're really excited. We were able to work with some really well-known creative designers in the industry. There are patterns for 25 inspirational Quilts of Valor.
Wow. Okay.
And, the book is designed not only with the patterns, but hopefully to give our quilters options to make different Quilts of Valor. So,
Wonderful, wonderful. And how can our viewers get this book?
they can go to our website.
Okay, and just pre-order it.
Yeah, we've got a blog post and it's got the details there.
So can you tell our viewers how they can join Quilts of Valor or learn more information about it and find their local chapter?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would start by going to our website at qovf.org.
Yes, and it's QOVF, Quilts of Valor Foundation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can click and get more information there. Look for a local chapter on our finder, and if all else fails, we've got a contact form. They can email our info desk and we'll get them connected. So,
excellent, excellent. We're certainly a sponsor of Quilts of Valor and appreciate all that you do. And thanks for spending some time with us today.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for what you do to support us.
You bet. Quilts of Valor is a great organization.
It is a great organization, and I am so excited about that new pattern book.
I really am too. And after I talked to Lori, we just had so much fun. I met up with some more quilters. All right, so Erica, we're here with two ladies and very exciting news because one of them is a brand new Go Cutter owner today. So tell us your first name.
Deborah.
And where are you from?
Bloomfield, Iowa.
And?
Lisa, Bloomfield, Iowa.
And what are you taking home, Miss Lisa?
The Ready, Set, Go.
Oh.
Okay, and it comes with, Inspired to Sew has a package, so you get the 8-inch cube and the 12-inch cube. So what was kind of the deciding factor that made you think, oh, I get this now?
Well, I have a scan and cut, or scan and cut.
Right.
From brother. And the problem is you lay one piece of fabric down and it cuts one set of blocks.
Right.
And then you do another
Right.
piece of fabric and you do another. But what I really liked about it was the pieces are exact and perfect.
Yes.
And then when you put your block together, they're perfect. But the problem is you do it one at a time.
Right.
And you're not going to ever make a whole quilt doing that.
Right. No.
Because it'll drive you crazy.
Right. So Jill taught you can cut 6 layers at a time.
Right.
And are they accurate?
They're perfect. They're just like the pieces that come out. Yeah.
Yeah. And dog ears are cut off.
Right.
Yep.
Quartering same.
Exactly.
Right. And you were kind of her inspiration, right? Because do you own her go cutter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Same thing.
And what?
8-inch, 12-inch.
There you go.
A lot of the dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what helped you go from rotary cutting rulers to a go cutter?
Probably my hands aren't as steady with the
Right.
rotary cutter.
Right.
And I've got autoimmune, so I'm kind of shaky.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now you can quilt forever.
Now
Excellent.
you're just starting, but you've had yours, so we can ask you, what's your favorite die?
The strips.
Hands
the
down.
strips are
Hands
my,
down.
my
Why is
really
that?
love the strips.
Do you
Setting
do a lot of
quilts.
strip quilting?
Yeah,
Okay.
t-shirt quilts. And
So you're going to learn this because have you ever cut strips and they were
Oh, yeah.
wonky?
Mhm.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Because they're when you unfold them, they're
yes, they're not
Right,
there.
mount-
No
in the
Dixie
middle.
Doodles.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything
That's
is straight.
wonderful.
When you put something together, it's square.
All right, quilters, we're having so much fun
We
here in
are.
Des Moines. And this is Karen. How are you?
That's right.
Fine.
Karen, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Southeast Iowa.
Southeast Iowa. And tell us, what was that moment you went from giving away your rotary cutter and your ruler to the Ghost system?
Way back to when you just about started them.
Love it.
I've had my Go for a long time.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
And now I have the Go Big and the Go Baby.
Okay, so tell us, what's the most important thing when you're cutting fabric?
For you.
For you?
Accuracy.
Accuracy, right?
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite die?
Not particularly. I like the cubes
Right?
because I can take any pattern and I say, okay, I need this size square and I need like 20 of them. I'm not going to count those with a rotary cutter. I'm going to go to my cube and
That's
find
right.
that size and cut it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And so the cube, do you have a favorite size cube? Which one you use the most often?
The quilt I just finished, I used the 4-inch cube
Wow.
the
The
most.
4-inch.
But I do like the bigger cubes, actually. I like to make a bigger block,
I'm
actually.
with you, like the 12-inch. Behind us is the charity quilt that the guild made to auction off. It's a raffle, right? So, Diana, tell me, you are the one who cut and sewed it?
Yes, I did, and I made kits and then handed it off to everybody, and they sewed them together perfectly and sewed it back. It's the first quilt I ever worked with where everybody, a lot of people worked on it, and went together so good.
Because how did you cut it out?
I cut it out with my AccuCutter.
There you go.
And what size cube do you use to make all the
I
shapes?
used a 12.
12-inch cube. And tell me your name, dear.
Marilyn Stokes.
Marilyn, and you're the vice president of which guild?
Eastern Polk.
Eastern Polk County. So we want to give a huge shout out to them for making this charity quilt. And where does the raffle money go to?
Well, it just goes to our
Excellent. Excellent.
programs.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. Well, a huge shout out to you and a beautiful quilt and a great job to your guild.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
And I want to shout out to her because she's the one that picked the pattern.
Oh, good job.
Good job.
We have been very
Because
fortunate.
I knew I could use my AccuCutter.
There you go.
Cut it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, I did not win the raffle
Yeah, no.
because I would have loved to have won that quilt.
Oh,
It
I
was
love
so
that
pretty.
quilt.
It was so pretty, and they cut
Love
it
that
all with our go dies.
Yeah, and I love that she said that it was the first time she'd ever put together a group project.
Yes.
Where it went together nicely because
Yes.
she had cut everything on the go
She
cutter.
was super smart. So if you're thinking about doing that for your quilt guild,
Yeah.
you want to cut your pieces first with the go and then.
Give everybody their little kits to sew.
All right, hearing about what quilters think about our products makes me so glad to be part of the AccuQuilt team. In fact, I think I'm going to share some of my joy by bringing it to a few lucky viewers.
Oh, like with a giveaway.
Exactly. Today, quilters were giving away $100 in AccuQuilt reward points to 2 lucky people who registered for today's event. $100 in AccuQuilt reward points. What would you get?
I don't know. If you didn't have the whirling star, this is a great chance to get that. Then there's those new dies.
I know.
Well, the first lucky winner of $100 in AccuQuilt reward points is, drum roll please, Melinda H. from Newport News, Virginia. Congratulations. We'll have to see what she gets.
I know. Share it with us. Tell us.
Now, Pam was also able to interview Lori about Quilts of Valor Foundation. And we happen to know another quilter who was there who makes quilts for charity. It's our very own Jeannie Miller.
I love Jeannie.
I do too.
She is truly one of my favorite people. And I was able to meet up with her. She helped in the So Inspired group. So she was super busy, but I was able to grab her for a few minutes during the show. Here's a look at my conversation with her. Quilters, I'm here with Jeannie Miller. Hi, I'm so excited. So we're here in Des Moines, and you might recognize Jeannie. She is one of our AccuQuilt experts. And truly, you're one of the few people I know that's worked for the company longer than me.
Yes.
So tell me what kind of got you hooked on AccuQuilt?
Well, the main thing that got me hooked on the AccuQuilt was I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I've had it since I was 26 years old. And no matter what you do when you rotary cut, you have to stand up. You cannot sit down and rotary cut. So we had that's made by the AccuQuilt, but we had the machines in our school that cut letters and different things. So I was used to it, and I used to sneak into school early so I could cut my fabric and cut out the letters and the shapes. And when I retired, I decided to invest in the system because it would save so much on all of my joints.
Right.
And that is originally how I first got into it. And then I started selling it at different quilt shows and things. And then I came on as an educator with AccuQuilt.
And you and I traveled for a long time
together. For a long time, and it was so much fun to come around to all those stores and meet all the different people and share the different tips and techniques. Because a lot of people get it and they're afraid to take it out of the box.
Right.
And you just need to go hit that stash, get that ugly fabric that you don't care if you mess up, and start cutting with it. And you'll find out how easy it is.
Well, you and I always say, you know, did you not cut fabric wrong before you had AccuQuilt?
Oh, all the time.
Right? Okay.
And you're cutting those strips and that ruler slips and it never slips to the bigger, always to the smaller.
Always.
Yes. So, but with this, it's 100% accuracy every time.
And talk to me about cubes. What do you have a favorite size of cube?
The 12-inch.
How come? Because I love the 12.
Yes. Well, I love the 12 because I make a lot of charity quilts.
Yes.
And so bigger is better.
Bigger is.
And I can make more quilts and put more quilts out there for charity by using that 12-inch cube. So that is my favorite. But I really like the 10 because the math's easy.
The math, right?
And the new 5 works so good with the 10.
She could just talk about them all.
Oh,
She could
yes,
just talk
because
about
I
them
do have them all, Pam.
Imagine that. Imagine that, Jeannie. Okay, so if you had to choose one die, not your strip die, because we know that's your favorite, one die in the whole AccuQuilt system, what's your favorite?
Blazing Star by Eleanor Burns.
How come?
I just love the pattern. You can't do it unless you're paper piecing or you use templates. Oh, no, we're not doing that.
No.
So it's my favorite. It looks so complicated and it's so easy. It looks wonderful, scrappy, and I use it all the time. I'll put a Blazing Star and then I'll put a 12.5-inch block beside it, and I can embroider on it, and I'll use all the different applique embroidery designs with those free downloads for the embroidery, and it makes a quilt look so snazzy when you throw that embroidery on it.
I love it.
So that's my favorite die.
Okay, and the question of the show, because we just launched 2 new dies, Star of the East or Road to Fortune, which is your favorite?
Star of the East. Yours is road.
Mine is Road to Fortune. Erica loves Star of the East.
Yes.
Actually, I love them both. But
Yes.
I do love that because the only way you're ever going to make Star of the East is
with that die.
Yeah.
I don't make a quilt unless I make it with AccuQuilt. And almost any pattern out there, you can figure out how to make it with the cube system or with some of the bob dies.
Right.
So I just make it all AccuQuilt.
Just make it there. Okay, and one last question. Don't tell them what it is, but are you on one of our upcoming shows soon? Are you making some projects?
Yes, I do have a project, and I will be on in October.
October. Look for Jeannie there. Thanks for meeting with us.
Okay, thanks for coming.
I was totally trying to get her to use the forks there.
Yes.
She is going to be in one of our shows in October, and I'm
Yes, she
excited.
is.
I know what she's going to make.
She is. Well, we talked to all of these amazing people, and we're so excited to interview others at future quilt shows.
We are. I'm headed to AQS Daytona Beach, and Jeannie will be there too with a retailer that we have here.
And that's in the new year, right?
It is in February. So now, Quilters, is the time to start planning which AQS shows you're going to go to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now's the time.
Now, a while ago, we asked you about which quilt shows you would like to attend and which ones you would like to see us at. So we want you to let us know using the form on our events page. So just go there. There's a button to click at the top. You can fill it out and let us know what shows you'd like to see us at.
Maybe have a local show.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time we announce our final winner of $100 in AccuQuilt reward points.
I think that's a great idea. Our giveaways are just one way we'd like to thank our community of quilters for tuning in and supporting us on a Thursday.
On a Thursday. So the second lucky winner of $100 in happy AccuQuilt reward point shopping is, drum roll please, it's Ann H. in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada.
I've been to Kelowna. It was beautiful there.
Thank you for the pronunciation guide.
Okay, and if you've won, and tell us what you're going to spend your reward points on. Quilters, don't forget that we have a few special offers for you today. You can get free shipping on any AccuQuilt.com purchase that is $150 or more and you live in the contiguous U.S. No code is needed to redeem this offer, so think about adding that Go Whirling Star to your order since you're getting free shipping. Star of the East, Road to Fortune, all of our new dies.
That's right. And with any order, you'll receive double reward points for AccuQuilt that you can use on any future AccuQuilt.com purchase.
You don't need a code to earn double reward points today, so don't forget to place your order
That's right. Now to get your order in, open a new tab in your browser, type in AccuQuilt.com/party, and you'll get to the site. You can place your order.
Remember, you can quilt now, pay later. Get financing options today at AccuQuilt.com/financing.
All right, quilters, it's time for us to go sew. We've got so many things coming up. We hope you had as much fun as we did. And hearing from all those amazing people who attended this year's Des Moines Quilt Week show.
It was super fun. It was super fun. And we have lots of extra shows coming up
Yes,
here
we
in
do.
October, November
Yes,
time.
we do.
So make sure you check out our events page to join this. And be sure to join us again on Tuesday, September 27th at 12 noon Central Time for a new applique show called Spice Up Applique.
Would that be pumpkin spice?
Pumpkin spice applique. And you get to see a really fun project that the very lovely Erica put together.
There we go. We'll be revealing new embroidery designs and how easy they are to apply to with applique shapes. You won't want to miss out.
Now, speaking of things you don't want to miss
Oh,
out,
yes.
if you haven't heard, Erica and I, are having our very first sew along. It starts next month in October.
That's right. We will be walking you through each step to make a super quick, easy, and fun bed runner. You don't want to miss out on any of the 4 sew along shows, so be sure to register for each one on our events page.
Right, we're going to give you all the facts and details. We're going to talk about the requirements and a pattern, and we're going to cut out all the pieces and sew them together. We're going to change up the studio on Fridays.
Yes,
it's going to be fabulous.
Yes, it is. We're gonna grab a soda. We're gonna sit down, make ourselves comfy. Some M&Ms may make their way onto the set. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
So be sure and check it out on our events page. All right, Quilters, thanks so much for joining us today on this special Thursday. If you've been waiting for our show to end before you buy, now is the time. Here's the link for everything that you need.
And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time
so you can quilt more. Bye-bye.
See you Tuesday.
you.